Well, it's time for Swisher Scoops, our weekly segment with Kara Swisher of All Things Digital. She joins us now from San Francisco. Kara? Oh, there you are with the shades, and I forgot mine today. I don't know how I forgot them. The Hunger Games, I love that. That's obviously what you're going to be reading and going to see. I love the seriousness of you, Kara. So we want to talk to you about your...
This is what's going to happen at Yahoo soon. This is a metaphor for what's occurring there. Children fighting each other to the death.
Wow. Okay. So children fighting each other to the death. Great. That's what's going to be Yahoo. Let's talk about stories you've actually written. Yahoo hopes to fight back at activist shareholders with new board members of its own. Explain what's going on here, because we know that Yahoo is in a lot of trouble.
Well, you know, they may not be, actually. They have an activist shareholder who owns 6% of the company, Dan Loeb, a very noisy hedge fund activist who's very sharp and very smart, who's put together his own slate, a very kind of an eerie similarity to what Carl Icahn did several years ago to Yahoo. And he's trying to get his board members on, and Yahoo's not playing with him. You know, they're trying to put their own board members to pack the board so that they don't have to give Dan Loeb a slate, and so they're all headed to a June fight at the annual meeting.
Can you talk a little bit about the board members that Yahoo is trying to recruit?
Well, one of the board members, Jeff Zucker, who's very well-known NBC executive, and he's one on Dan Loeb's slate and very well regarded in the media industry. And so Yahoo's searching for its own media person, sort of the other Zucker, not the to match Zucker, essentially. And so they talked to Tony Vinciquerra, who worked for Fox Networks, who ran Fox Networks, and Peter Chernin, who's on everybody's short list for any board, who was COO of News Corp. And they've talked to Judy McGrath, who used to run MTV. So they're looking for some expertise in media, I think, as one of the board seats.
And well, that actually sounds like some expertise in TV. I mean, it's what I'm hearing. It's more narrow than that. Is that what Yahoo is going to become? Because we know they've got alliances with ABC now, and you know, are they going in that direction? Is that what they do?
Well, you know, they have to do video. Heavy video is going to be critically important to a company like Yahoo going forward, unless, you know, they go off on some other tangent that its new CEO wants to go on, including commerce and others. So you might see other board members in that area. They brought in 2 board members already that are going to be installed in June. One is a server expert, essentially. He ran eBay's computers for years, ran the whole system there. And then another guy who has a bunch of expertise, including patent lawsuits, which of course they're doing against Facebook. So I think they're going to particularly bring in people who add to the where they're headed. So that will show a lot of where Yahoo's headed.
So you reported that a couple of the sources that Yahoo had reached out to potentially recruit to the board have turned down the opportunity. How hard do you think it will be for Yahoo to recruit people to join the board at this time in the company?
Well, very. Would you want to be in the middle of this? I mean, there's going to be massive layoffs. They have a lawsuit against Facebook that's going to turn ugly. They're restructuring the company, and they're in the middle of an activist. You know, that sounds like fun to me for the summer. You know, it's just not something a lot of people.
For you, Kara, because you'll be writing about it. It'll be great fun for you.
I would win with a bow and arrow. No, you know, it's a really tough situation because a lot of people. There's some very good people. David Goldberg, who ran Launch Music and worked at Yahoo, would be a very good board member, but he's not going to enter the picture unless this is all settled with Dan Loeb and there's some strategy in place. I think a strategy in place would be really nice. That would be a good first step. But
just a
this
strategy.
Is all choice.
Not a good one. Just a strategy. I love that.
A good strategy would be nice. A winning strategy. A winning strategy.
A winning strategy. Well, part of the winning strategy has got to be to keep key employees to stay. And you also wrote earlier this week that a much vaunted Yahoo techie departed for Microsoft. Tell us about that and the trend it represents.
Well, they're losing a lot of people. They were in this new cuts that they're doing, which is going to be thousands of people let go from Yahoo. They were really decimating the research organization at Yahoo, which has long been very well respected, although not a lot has come out applied. But many big companies have these research organizations, and the head of the research organization went to Google, and this guy, who essentially created personalization at Yahoo, is going to Microsoft. So these people leaving is not a surprise because they're decimating that organization. But, you know, they've got to hold on to talent while they're cutting at the same time. So it's a kind of a dicey surgery going on there.
And is there anybody that is notable that they have been able to hang on to that you've heard they've maybe thought about leaving or?
You know, we'll see. You know, I think everybody is looking at their neck and wondering if they're going to be cut, and they're looking out around the web, and there's plenty of opportunity now around the web. Lots of companies, and the very talented people, many of whom have already left Yahoo, have got to be thinking hard about whether they want to stay there throughout another cycle of change. But, you know, you never know. You never know. These things can turn around rather quickly.
Well, let's hope they do, because death by attrition for a manager, which is what it becomes down to, is everyone's quitting, can be a horrible way to see a company go. I'm afraid we have to leave it there. The wonderful Kara Swisher out in California with the shades there. Sorry I forgot mine this week, but next week, you know, maybe. Thank you very much, Kara Swisher of All Things Digital.